Good morning, everyone. I have a little extra time on my hands this morning. My rebounding studio gets quite a little bit quiet this time of the year. So I thought, well, while I'm not in a class exercising, I can do a little mini flip through for you guys with my coloring book. As you can see, I've been quite busy with it. I love this book. I've been working on it pretty much every day. What I do is I prepare a page, just the base layer of paint or color, and then in the evenings when we are watching TV, I take it with me and I do some coloring in over the top. And then the next day I come back and I do extra little bits. So I've done a few pages. I'd like to share them with you. Probably at the end of when I'm done with all of this whole book, I will do a full flip through for you guys here on YouTube, and then you can see what I've done. But I thought maybe this is a good time to just show you some ideas. If you don't have this book, please get it. It's amazing. Put it on your Christmas wish list. It really is incredible. It's got really thick paper, 250 GSM. It's got 20 pictures to color in. I've thrown everything at this paper. I've thrown alcohol markers, paint pens, watercolors, normal acrylic paint, stencil paste, everything. And it handles it beautifully. So let me stop with the flapping hands because I know you guys don't like it, and let's just get started. So my first page, actually the covers, this one and the back one, I just did Marlene's layered flowers stamp set. That is this one. It's my favorite one. I love it so much. That's this one. And then I colored that in with alcohol markers, and I went over the top with pencils just to do a little bit of shading. So that's kind of, let's see if I can get you a close-up. So you can see the shading there on all of that. I didn't do the background. I'm not sure if I should. I quite like it this way. I thought maybe I would do the background in a blue or a green or maybe like a turquoise. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think about doing the background. Then I did the coloring in the front intro page that Marlene has. I did post a short video on this on my Instagram and Facebook, so you can go have a look there to see how I did it. Just basically watercolors, coloring in with pencils. I added a little bit of paint pen around the edges, and of course Marlene's beautiful washi tape. I had this tag that I'd made a while ago, and you can see that I cut the edge off trying to figure out a way how to get it onto this spiral binding. In the end, I realized I could have left the little moon shapes on because I could have just put the ribbon through there. But first I cut little slots into these curves, but that didn't work. So I ended up having to cut everything off because it was just a disaster. And I actually quite like the fact that they're on little ribbons. It gives a little bit of space to move it. And then once I had it in, because I'd only done this side, once I had it in, I decided, obviously, I'm going to have to do something on this side. So all I used there was Marlene's napkins or tissue paper. There was just one that had this blend of colors. Glued that over the top with some gel medium. I put in the little quote that says create every day, and then I used Marlene's whole reinforcers, these ones, and I just glued them over the top. I also did the little insides, and I finished that off with some dots and circles. Really easy, really simple, and I think it looks really cute. Okay, next I did an extra little page here for myself. I used one of Marlene's mandala stencils, and I just did like an ombre stencil through it with a sponge, and then I went over the top and just did some shading again and finished it off with a white paint pen. I think that's quite nice. I love the fact that the back of these pages are blank, so you can actually create your own artwork in here as well. Okay, so that was the mandala. This one, this was a journey. I started with the moon with some embossing powder, but I did not like the color. And then from there, I just laid on more and more embossing powder, and then eventually I finished it off with Marlene's glitter glue. I used the gold, and I just did a couple of really thick layers and let it dry for like overnight just to harden. Then I went and did a watercolor background, and then I put yellow around the moon because I wanted the moon to shine, and that looked horrendous. So I ended up covering everything again with a blend of Marlene's paints. I think I used Sky and Royal and maybe a little bit of lavender, and I just painted over the whole thing. Then I went back in with my paint pens and I did the stars. This had a little bird drawn here, which I decided to cover with one of Marlene's paper elements. And you'll notice on all of my pages, I leave little black and white elements. You know how much I love black and white elements on my page. So pretty much I will try as far as I can to leave black and white stripes or spots. I didn't do the houses because I thought then there are 3 black and white elements, 1, 2, and 3. And I also finished off with a little quote. What's next? Oh, I did a little collage at the back of this page because obviously this moon had so much texture. It's quite raised. I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring it this side. You can't really see it, but it's pretty raised off the surface. So I figured I'm not going to be able to draw something at the back or color in because there's always going to be that bump. So I just glued some of Marlene's collage paper, did some background stamping, a little bird, and I used the same collage paper and just cut some circles from there. I also used this guy's background for some circles just to ground him. I did add some extra coloring in over the top of him just using my neon pencils, and did some patterning in his little hat there. So it's very cute. I like it. And next, ooh, this one was my favorite when I did it. I loved this one. So started off with texture paste. I used the neon pink texture paste, but I actually mixed it with a little bit of white gesso, so it's more of a pastel color, just through the dot stencil. I did embossing powder here. I used the Wow embossing powder. They've got a range of neons. Well, this is not a neon, but the green and the pink are neons. And I just embossed that. I colored in the butterflies, again leaving some black and white elements in there. And then what I did is I got some sparkly sticker paper and I stuck that over tracing paper. First I traced this butterfly onto tracing paper. I was going to stick just the tracing paper because I like the crinkly sound of it, but then I didn't do that. I glued over, stuck over a sticker sheet that's sparkly, and then I fussy cut the whole thing and stuck it on with just some double-sided tape there. And now my butterfly has got some flappy wings. I love that. Love this page. I think it's really nice. I didn't color in the background or anything because I thought this was enough. These were my tulips. I think I did this with Marlene's acrylic paints and then just colored over the top with pencil. Added some white highlights and added the black details back in again with a paint pen. Little quote and a birdie. And I also added Marlene's rub-ons just here and there, just for a little bit of extra texture. Okay, this one, this was the original picture, and then because it was such simple lines and shapes, I decided to extend the background all through to the white page, and then I just added some stamped images there, just so there's something on this page as well. Okay, over here, I'll leave my favorite one for last. This was my little owls. I traced all of these owls onto, no, I lie, I copied this onto normal copy paper, then I fussy cut it all out, and then I used that sheet that I did there as a mask over the owls. Then I just used a blending tool with Marlene's paints, and I just blended around those masks until I got a nice background there. Colored in the birds with normal coloring in pencils. This was my teapot. My mom and I actually did this teapot on Saturday together, and it's incredible. Our pages look completely different, even though we followed the exact same steps. It's two different pages. Hers, she did in purple with silver dots, and I think her background was maybe blue. But of course mine had to be pink. You know how much I love pink. All of the little frames we finished off with some, again, sparkly sticker paper. So this sticker paper has a little bit of a sparkle in them. So again, just tracing with tracing paper, and then we fussy cut them and put them on there. This is my Born to be Wild little hog on his motorbike there, and I added some washi tape there, and you'll see these little sparkly dots are Marlene's glitter effect paints. They are actually quite nice in texture, so you can feel it. I also wrote here that I used the Inktense pencils for this, acrylic markers, alcohol markers, glitter paints, and the date that I did that. And over here I just did like a little mini collage, again just Marlene's paper from one of her new books, her new collage books. This was the floral one, and I added some of the elements from her Elements book, some stamping, and this was from the Lots of Coral stamp set. I just made some embossed elements there. I finished off with a quote and some sparkles, and I added another tag. So again, this tag I'd made this side. I think I also have a video somewhere with this, and then the blank side I just finished with my seahorse that was from the Sea Creature stamp set from her latest release. And I thought I would keep this whole page kind of beach, ocean themed, because it's got the beach and the ocean there. And now for my favorite one. So this was my birthday cake. So yesterday I did this page because it was my 1-year birthday on YouTube. So I quickly did that one. Again, lots of texture in there. I made sure that these little dots were quite textured. I don't know if you can really see how textured they are, but they really do stand out. It actually feels like I stuck like those half pearls over, because they are quite bumpy. I love that. And then for this page I just did some stencil paste again. I think I'll be running out of the pink very soon because I've been using it a lot. Just threw a star stencil onto tracing paper, and I just stuck it in with some double-sided tape. Don't you love it? I love the crinkle. Just love it. And then on the other side I actually used, again, one of Marlene's mandala stencils. This time I used my Neo Color 2s to color it in, and then I water activated it, and then I went in and I used my coloring in pencils to just do some shading. And again, I did add some of the neon colors as well, because I feel like it really just makes it pop. For the background, I painted the background with Police, which is this one. And then I went over the top with the Lots of Dots stencil with the mermaid paint, which is this one. Then on Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen I made this little shaker card, which I just love. I think this is my favorite. I just love the colors. I love the face. I love my little sprinkly bits that I did. So I just used a couple of paper, like hole punches in different sizes with glitter cardstock, and I just punched my own little sparkles because my glitter that I have is too fine. But this looks very cute, and I decided it has to go in my journal, and so I've put a little pin. I was going to put this pin through the page, but I thought it would maybe compromise the structure of the paper too much. So I've just glued it on with a little bit of a glue gun and the ribbon as well, just a glue gun there. And now she's in the journal, and I like it because when I now color this page, I can just move it away. So there will be a little bit of bump there, but I'll work around that. So I didn't want to stick her onto the page because it would make coloring this page quite difficult. Okay, so that's my page, my little coloring book for now. If you don't have it, please don't think you can use it just as a coloring book, because I know a lot of people that I've spoken to, they say, oh, it's just a coloring book, but it's actually, you can use it as so much more because you can throw anything at it. So let me know in the comments if you have it. Let me know if you have it on your Christmas wish list. I've actually bought it for someone else already because I thought that she would love it, and she did. Yeah, and then I hope you enjoyed this little extra video, and I will chat to you again soon. Okay, bye.